Hi, Hub Arkush along with Associate Editor Kevin Fishbane as we continue looking at all 32 NFL teams with previews of the 2012 season. And now we want to take a look at the Miami Dolphins. You know, we've been talking with most clubs about what was the biggest addition during the offseason. Some would argue that the Dolphins' biggest addition was cut the third week of training camp, so we're not sure what's going on in Miami right now.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a mess. You know, they brought in Chad Ochocinco, or Chad Johnson, I should say is his name now, and he's gone. It's been a lot more distracting than I'm sure Joe Philbin would have liked for his first season. But, you know, if you ask the Dolphins who their biggest addition is, they'll probably tell you it's Ryan Tannehill. And they hope that the first-round pick, who is now the starting quarterback, ends up playing well in his first season and can really be the quarterback of the future.
Now, you go to biggest loss, and some people scratch their heads why a team desperate at wide receiver sends Brandon Marshall away for a couple third-round picks. I'm told by good sources in Miami they would have cut them if they couldn't got those third-round picks. So what is the biggest loss from the Dolphins' perspective?
Yeah, outside of that, I think it's going to be YEREMIAH. You know, you talk to people in Miami, they would say that he's lost some in his feet, not as fast as he would, and he certainly was never good in coverage. But communication-wise, he was such a leader for that back end of the defense. A lot of youth back there in that secondary, and they might miss him going through the season with this really young back four.
I'm going to take a little different tack with this preview because I think the reasons for concern are pretty obvious to everybody. What about optimism? What about excitement? Is there anything that looks to be going right in Miami?
Well, I'll take you back to 2 years ago when Mike Nolan was in charge of this defense. And this was a Dolphins team that lost some very close games because of the defense. And this year's defense has Kevin Coyle in charge. That front seven is very good. You look at Cameron Wake, Randy Starks, Paul Soliai, Carlos Dansby. Few teams have as good of a front seven as they do. So if that group plays very well, they could keep games low scoring enough for the offense to stay in it.
How good is Ryan Tannehill going to be? Was it as easy a choice as they made over Matt Flynn? We will find out. The prediction record-wise is not good. We've got him at 4-12 in our Pro Football Weekly preseason poll. I think you can see why on this one. Take a look at all 32 teams' preseason predictions. Stay right where you are at ProFootballWeekly.com.